Welcome back to Bassum, everyone. So a couple months ago, the whole tier list trend was really big, and around that time, another YouTuber that makes Power Ranger videos, Esta, challenged me, you could say, to do a Power Ranger tier list because he did one on his channel as well. And I did that video. I made it. What you're about to see was at that time I made it, but at the time I was pretty busy and I wasn't able to record like an intro to the video, something like this. So I put it off and I was like, okay, I'm gonna finish making the video later and I'll post it. Totally forgot about it. I've just had it sitting in my computer for a couple of months now, and I just recently found it going through some of the old videos that I have on the computer, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I ranked the Power Ranger seasons. There was supposed to be some sort of intro to it. I don't really know what I had planned for it, but now I just wanted to say that this was supposed to go out a long time ago, and that's why I'm revisiting an old trend. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright guys, so here we are with the list. It's going to be in 5 different categories. Usually the lists that you see are in S tier, you got A tier, B tier, C tier, all the way through F. This is going to be a little bit different. It's a little bit more customized to Power Rangers. At the very top, you know, the best seasons, you got Morphin Master. Below that, Ultra Zord, Battleizer, Bulk and Skull, and then Rita's Dumpster. So we're just going to go in the order that all of the seasons are here, and then we'll be done with it. Now, this is going to be starting off with a really weird one, Dino Thunder, because Dino Thunder is a season that I definitely don't really have many problems with, but it's not like the best season I've ever seen, you know, it's not like in my top 5, but it just kind of feels weird to put it on Ultra Zord, not Morphin Master, you know what I mean? But, I don't know, I grew up on, Dino Thunder. I was really a Disney guy, because I'm 16 right now, but I'm going to go ahead and put Dino Thunder at Ultra Zord, because it's a really great season. I barely have any problems with it. It's just not the best. Jungle Fury is another weird one because it's like every time that I watch it, I don't have a problem with it. It's fun to watch. But I don't see myself going back to Jungle Fury as often as other people. And I really like the idea that, you got sort of like these ninja guys. Although, I mean, we've done ninjas multiple times in Power Rangers. They're not technically ninjas. They're just, what do you even call them, really? They work on their animal spirits and everything, and it's really cool, but I don't know, it just didn't do like a Morphin Master, type of season for me. I don't know, it's really hard to explain. Like Dino Thunder, I love Dino Thunder, but it just seems kind of average. I love how certain seasons like Ninja Storm and like SPD and Time Force, they add this really cool thing to them, like maybe it's an organization, maybe it's like an entire ninja academy or something like that, although I guess the Ninja Academy wasn't seen too much in Ninja Storm, but you know what I mean, that sort of thing. Dino Thunder, they're back at high school, which isn't a terrible thing because, high school can work, and it worked the best in Dino Thunder. It's just that it didn't, give us too many, cool locations. Like SPD, we went to space a lot, and space, of course, we went to space a lot. That sort of thing. We were stuck in high school a lot of the time when it came to, locations for the Rangers. Jungle Fury was pretty cool. We were in a pizza parlor a lot of the time, but still. Okay. Alright, this is where the list gets a little bit weird because I have very different opinions than other people. Dino Charge, I loved Dino Charge. It's in my top 5. And we're pairing, like I said, Super Seasons as well with it. And I like Dino Supercharge. I don't know why people had problems with it. Once again, it may be something like I don't feel good putting it Morphin Master, but I do love it. I mean, it's in my top 5, so I'm going to have to put it at Morphin Master. It did have some really weird moments, but I just loved it. How we had, such different ranges. The variety of Rangers was crazy. Now, I know they had to do this because of the amount of Rangers, but, we had a Caveman Ranger, we had one who was a Knight, we had one who was a Prince, and we had a Bird. And that's the stuff I really like. I like in-suit actors for Rangers and everything. And I just thought the tone was really good because, we had been getting, too lazy with, and too, happy, whatever, with Mega Force and Samurai and everything. Dino Charge, I think, had a good balance. It wasn't, super serious, or the more serious ones, like In Space and Time Force. It just had its own little thing there. I really enjoyed that. I'm going to have to get into that in another video because putting it at Morphin Master, I know, is going to confuse a lot of people. Lost Galaxy is one that I do really enjoy as well. I haven't seen the entirety of the show, but from what I saw, it was really good. It was really good. But I really don't know. I didn't feel like I had too much of a connection. I didn't love the cast, but the story itself was great. I loved it. This might be subject to change. Let me just see how the rest of the list goes on. I might put it at Morphin Master, but I'm going to keep it at Ultra Zord right now. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, we're getting to another one where very weird opinions. I don't like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I can watch it, and I don't cringe as much as, if I watch like Megaforce. I guess spoilers for later down the line, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. You know what I mean? The high school location for 3 seasons really bummed me out. They didn't really have too many overarching stories. Season 3 got better, but I don't have to put it at Rita's Dumpster. Okay, Boken School. I'm putting it at Boken School because it's watchable. It's not like Megaforce, which, okay, I'm just going to put that there. We don't even need to talk about that. Do we need to talk about it? I don't think so. Mystic Force, a weird one. I'm very nostalgic for Mystic Force. It was the one I watched the most when I was growing up. However, it's just at Battleizer because I like the magical spells and stuff. It was very different. Like with Power Rangers and different themes, I like it when they do different things. However, they didn't do too well there. The characters were not the best. Like our Red Ranger was sort of boring. I did really like Xander though. Xander was pretty cool. It just didn't keep me interested because whenever I watch it, I think, okay, this is cool. I like the mystical spells and stuff, but I just get bored with the episodes. You know what I mean? Ninja Storm, very fun season. Like I don't know if I'll put it at Morphin Master or Orchazord because it's not like a super serious season, and I like the more serious seasons like Time Force, In Space, SPD, those sort of seasons because I get more invested into them, especially when I'm older. But Ninja Storm was just fun. Like almost every episode was fun. But I'm gonna put it at Ultrazord because it didn't really blow me away. It was just fun. Ninja Steel. This is a weird one because I don't hate Ninja Steel as much as a lot of other people. I don't love it. You know, I cringe at a lot of it, but it gave us a really good anniversary episode. I think Ninja Steel as its first season wasn't too bad. It was like better than Samurai, I think. But Super Ninja Steel was like unforgivable, really. Boken School, I'm probably gonna change that. Power Rangers in Space. Love it. It definitely took Power Rangers to a more grander scale with the whole space traveling idea, sort of like what Lost Galaxy did. I think Lost Galaxy maybe to a greater extent, but it just like blew up the entire idea of Power Rangers. And you know, being in space, they went to so many different planets and stuff like that. The whole story behind Antros's backstory and Corone was very interesting, kept me invested. I'm gonna put that in Morphin Master, of course. Samurai, Rita's Dumpster, to be honest. Yes, I put Ninja Steel above Samurai just because Samurai, like Ninja Steel, it kept me kind of invested when it came to the story of what's his name, the Red Ranger, Brody, and finding his father and his brother. That was kind of cool. I like certain characters. Of course you have Victor and Monty and stuff, but it just invested me a little bit more than Samurai. Where Samurai, it was confusing. And by that, it just didn't really make too much sense. You know, we had a lot of questions unanswered. It was just weird. Wild Force, I don't feel like I can rank Wild Force good enough because I don't like Wild Force, but I've barely seen it. And the reason I've barely seen it is because I hate every single minute that I watch it. No joke. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen. Another unpopular opinion. I don't like any of the Rangers. Well, yeah, I don't like any of the Rangers. That whole princess character was annoying. I don't like the villains. It was terrible. Rita's Dumpster, although it gave us Forever Red and the Time Force team up, which both episodes were very well written, and I really like those. But yeah, Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue is a weird one because it's kind of like maybe Dino Thunder and Jungle Fury. Whenever I watch it, I am not disappointed. It's cool, you know, they have really great action sequences, really good stories. I just get kind of bored watching it sometimes, but I don't know, I'm gonna put it at Battleizer because I don't hate it. It's just, it's there, it's a good season, move past, you know, so that sort of thing. Operation Overdrive. I've been trying to watch a more Operation Overdrive recently because the more I watch it, the more I realize this isn't the worst thing I've ever seen, as I had previously thought. Boken Skull. I'll put it at Boken Skull because I do like the idea of 2 separate villain entities. That was really cool. That was something we hadn't seen before. The cast, I like the cast. You know, even I don't know why people didn't like Dax. I really don't see the reasoning behind the hate behind Dax, and the rest of the cast was just fine. But it didn't like blow me away. You know what I mean? Power Rangers RPM definitely blew me away. That was a Morphin Master for sure. The most serious, the most streamlined, the best story maybe of any Power Ranger season I have ever seen. Like, I got emotionally invested in the characters. Each character had a background story or background episode, I could say, and it was just fun watching it too. I loved the action. The villains were really cool. Venjix himself wasn't the best villain because he was a virus. We didn't get much emotional connection, but the just grand scope for the Venjix virus and all that it did was crazy. Like, it wiped out the entire Earth almost. And the fact that Dr. K, who's supposed to be one of our leading heroes, I guess, created it, and that was just a very interesting story. It kind of made Dr. K the villain for a while, which made Venjix Virus even just more interesting. Power Rangers SPD, you already know it. I'm putting it at Morphin Master. It's my favorite season of all time. I've made an entire video on that if you want to go ahead and check it out. I'll talk a little bit about it here, but I just loved every single character that was on screen. Sid was okay. You know, I will admit, I'll give you Sid. Wasn't the best character we've ever seen, but like the story behind Doggy, Kruger, Jack, Z, like the back, I loved everybody, to be honest. They were all great. Bridge was hilarious. Sky, his change throughout the season was one of the biggest changes that we've seen in Power Rangers, from an initial character to where they ended up, which was great. And I love how he became Red Ranger at the end. Of course, that eventually went to Bridge, as we could tell from the Operation Overdrive team up, but he actually got Sky got the position of Doggy Kruger. And the whole idea behind SPD and the scope of that was really cool as well. I love all the, like, organization type Power Rangers, like Beast Morphers, like SPD, like Time Force. And speaking of Time Force, I'm putting it at Morphin Master. I love Time Force. Like, we're just getting into those seasons where I just say, oh, I love it, or I hate it, you know what I mean? Because Time Force was weird. We didn't see the organization as much as like we've seen like in seasons like SPD and Beast Morphers, where they're much more prevalent, where they're a big part of the season. But what was great is that we had these characters from like the year 3000. They went back to our time, and they were just placed in a whole different setting, and seeing them adapt to that was really cool. Rancic as a character was just your classic villain. He hated all people because they resented them. It's not something we had never seen before in entertainment. But Rancic was really cool. I really liked his design, the whole idea of him being a mutant, and his change throughout the season. Although Rancic just kind of did a complete 180 towards the end, which was cool, but it felt like they didn't really build it up enough. But I just love the idea of them coming from the future to the past. We had some cool things between Alex and Wes, conflict there. One of the best Power Ranger relationships we've ever gotten with Jen and Wes. Time Force, definitely Morphin Master. Turbo, another weird one, because I don't know if it's bad enough to call it Rita's Dumpster, but I feel like it's worse than Bulk and Skull. I'm gonna go ahead and put it at Bulk and Skull, because Turbo, I don't know, I can watch it. I'm not even gonna talk anymore. And Zeo, Battleizer, because Zeo, it was definitely a step up for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It was streamlined a little bit more. The villains were more likable. The Machine Empire was really cool, I think. But really, we were just stuck in that whole high school day-to-day situation where they were dealing with, like, oh, what am I going to do about this biology test, whatever, instead of actually worrying about the problem at hand. I know they always do that in Power Rangers where they have other things going on, except for, like, SPD. Like, SPD was always about the story going on. Same with RPM. See, the ones up here really put the story and the villains and the attacks above everything else. But seasons like Zeo, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Turbo, Ninja Steel, Mega Force, they always put this whole, going to school thing above everything else. And I didn't really like that. Dino Thunder gets a pass because that was just a good, well-written season. I like the villains and everything. So that gets a pass for the whole high school thing. But these don't, definitely. And Dino Charge, I don't know, I just like Dino Charge. It's really hard to explain. I just love the characters there. I'm probably going to have to make another video about that, because I feel like putting Dino Charge and Morphin Master is going to need some explanation, at least for some of you guys, because I know you probably won't let me live this down in the comments, but I love Dino Charge. But that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. I hope you all did enjoy. Tell me in the comments below what your rankings are, if you want to go ahead and rank them in the comments. I mean, I definitely like to read them. Also, you can go to Tier Maker and take this little quiz right here. I'll have the link in the description. See, a lot of other people made theirs too.